when he gave himself to Mafia King to save his friend's life. The grand wedding hall gleamed under crystal chandeliers, laughter and music mingling with the sharp clanking of glasses. Every mafia leader present wore their expensive tuxedos, cold eyes, and subtle arrogance. Kim Taehyung, the king himself, stood tall in his perfectly tailored black suit and aura, on commanding that no one dare approach without purpose. He was busy discussing with a Russian ally when something unexpected broke the rhythm. A tray full of drinks slipped, and in a split second, the cold liquid splashed down Taehyung's suit, staining the fabric. The entire corner of the hall went silent as if the air itself froze. The culprit, a young waiter with trembling hands, stood frozen, his wide doe eyes locked at Theong's chest before darting up to meet his face. Panic painted his expressions pale. I'm sorry, the boy stammered, voice shaking, bowing his head so quickly it looked like he would collapse. Gasp and whisper tripped around them. Everybody knew spilling a drink on Mafia King was no small mistake. Many expected Theong to lash out instantly, but his temper notorious. But instead, Theong found himself staring, those eyes, frightened, innocent, almost glowing beneath the dim golden light of the chandeliers. The boy looked like prey, yet something about him snared Theong's attention in a way he couldn't understand. Theong's jaw tightened, but not out of anger. He couldn't tear his gaze away, and for a dangerous moment he forgot where he was. Slowly he reached out and gripped the boy's wrist firmly, making him flinch. The chatter around them hushed, for their all eyes on the king. Name, Theong demanded, his deep voice like velvet laced with steel. It wasn't a request, it was an order. The boy swallowed hard, his lips trembling. He lifted his eyes again, those small doe eyes that had already captured Theon against his will. J- Jungkook, he whispered, barely audible, but Theon caught it. Kim Theon's grip loosened slightly, his expression unreadable, his lips curved the faintest but dangerous integrate. Jungkook, he repeated, tasting the name as if it belonged to him already, and in that crowded wedding hall full of mafia predators, Theon realized one thing, he had found something. No, someone that he couldn't let slip away. The hall still buzzed with music and chatter, but Theon had eyes only for the trembling boy in front of him. He didn't release Jungkook's wrist. Instead, he pulled him closer with a casual authority that made others step back immediately. You'll serve me for the rest of the night, Theon ordered smoothly, his gaze sharp and unyielding. No one else. Do you understand? Jungkook nodded, frantically clutching his tray tighter. Yes, sir. Theon smirked, amused at how the boy's voice quavered. He leaned back in his chair, never letting Jungkook wander too far. The waiter poured his drink, brought him food, even adjusted the napkin at Theon's command. All the while, those two eyes flickered nervously, catching Theon's watchful stare. Then Theon began testing him. So Jungkook, he started casually swirling the wine in his glass. Are you single? Jungkook's eyes widened. What? I asked a question. Theon tilted his head, his lips curving lazily. Do you have someone waiting for you? A lover? No, I don't. Jungkook stuttered, clearly flustered. Theon hummed, satisfied but not finished. What about hookups? Do you like them? Jungkook almost dropped the tray. Hookup? No, I don't. I never. His cheeks turned red, his voice cracking with panic. Theung smiled deepened. He leaned closer, his breath brushing Jungkook's hair. What about a one-night stand? Jungkook froze, his lips parting in shock. His hand trembled so badly that Theung had to casually take the glass from his hand before it spilled. The boy looked ready to faint. No, I don't do things like that. His voice came out high-pitched, his chest rising and falling too quickly. Theung chuckled low, clearly entertained. The boy was innocent, untouched, exactly the kind of purity Theung found fascinating. But then, as the king turned to speak with another mafia leader, discussing territory and shipments, Jungkook slipped away. When Theung turned back, the spot beside him was empty. His glass of wine stood half poured, the chair unoccupied, his jaw tightened. No one ever dared disobey him, yet this fragile looking boy had. Jungkook's heart raced as he slipped through the hallways of the mansion, looking for someone, it seems. His hand shook with adrenaline, but then he heard muffled noises from a side room. He pushed the door open. Inside, under the dim chandelier, another boy sat tied to a chair with ropes, his His suit was crumpled, his face frozen, eyes desperate. Please, the boy whispered when he saw Jungkook. Jungkook's eyes widened. Jungkook gasped, rushing forward. His trembling hands fumbled with the note until it finally loosened them. The boy groaned in relief as if the wrist came free. Jackson, we have to get out, Jungkook whispered urgently, glancing at the door closed. Before anyone comes. The two of them tiptoed toward the back exit, slipping through the corridors. Heart pounding, freedom was just a few steps away. But as Jungkook turned the last corner, bam! He collided with a solid chest. Strong hands immediately gripped his arms, steadying him. Jungkook looked up only to see those piercing eyes staring down at him, sharp as blades. Dark as midnight. Kim Taehyung, the mafia's king expression was unreadable, his jaw tight, his gaze flickering between Jungkook and the half-breed boy behind him. Well, well, Taehyung's deep voice trembled, dangerously calm. What exactly do we have here? Jungkook's blood drained cold. Jungkook's knee nearly gave out as he stared at the Jackson. The hall lights from behind cast Kim Taehyung's face in shadow, making him look even more dangerous. Kind of predators. His grip on Jungkook's wrist was iron. Mr. Mafia, please. Jungkook's voice trembled, his eyes widened, listening. Please let us go. We have to go, please. A low chuckle escaped Hyung's lips, dark and impious. He tilted his head slightly, his gaze drilling into Jungkook's. It's Mafia King, dear. Jackson. Mr. Mafia, but Hyung cut him midway by placing a finger on his lips and looked at Jungkook, saying, You speak. With demand. Jungkook swallowed hard, the lump in his throat painful. His lips squealed, but he couldn't tear his eyes away. Before he could respond, the phone vibrated in the pocket. Desperate, Jungkook tried to pull it out, but Hyung was faster. The king plucked it from his hand effortlessly. On the screen, a trembling voice echoed out from the speaker. I can't go back to my family like this. Jungkook, I thought about it a lot. The girl's voice cracked with sobs. I'm sorry. I'm going to unalive both of us. Her breath hissed. Me and the baby. No, Jenny, listen to me, Jenny. Jackson screamed. No, no, Jenny, no. Jungkook screamed, his voice breaking as tears streamed down his cheeks. He tried to snatch the phone back, but Theong easily held it out of reach. She can't hear you, Theong said coldly, pressing a button. You're mute. You're on mute, boy. Jungkook's cries grew louder, his shoulders shaking. Please, please unmute it. Let me talk to her, please. Theong raised an eyebrow, waiting. Jackson punched Theong and made him bunch and took Jungkook's hand and started to run away, only to feel Theong's anger. Theong pulled out his weapon and shoot in Jackson's leg, making him fall on ground and was about to shoot his head when Jungkook begged, No, please, no. Theong moved his head, cooling down himself, seeing Jungkook begging. Theong commanded, Explain what is happening here. Theong raised an eyebrow, waiting. Desperation cracked Jungkook over his glass. He fell to his knees, still holding the arm of the boy he had and died. Words spilled from him like a flood. Jackson. He was kidnapped by a mafia to marry their daughter. Jungkook's voice broke, frantic. He doesn't want to marry her. He's already my friend's boyfriend, Jenny's boyfriend. She's pregnant. Her family will disown her if they find out she's pregnant with no one taking responsibility, and that's why I came here, acting as a waiter. He sobbed, his hand clutching the hem of Theong's jacket. I had to bring him back to save my friend. Please, she'll harm herself, please. The room went silent. Theong's dark eyes wore into him, unreadable. Finally, the king's lips curved into the faintest of smirk. Nobody ever disobeys me, you know. You disobey my order, and this little boy punched me. His voice was quiet but sharp like a blade. I'm sorry, Jungkook whispered, his forehead pressing to the floor. Please, I'm sorry. Theon crouched down slightly, his face inches from Jungkook's trembling one, his tone softer and just soothing. Something far more dangerous than anger. Control. No sorry works for me, he murmured. Jungkook's tears spilled faster. Please, at least, please give me the phone. Please let me talk. Tell her that her boyfriend is coming back. She'll kill herself. Please. If I don't. Theon tilted his head, studying the boy who looked so small, so desperate at his feet. Then his voice dropped low and deep. Give me yourself, he said softly, yet it felt like a command, and I'll give you this phone, and maybe let this boy go alive. Jungkook froze, eyes widening. Come to me, Taehyung continued, his finger brushing the boy's chin upward so their eyes met. Forever and save your friend. The weight of the words hung in the air like thunder. Jungkook's heart pounded so hard it hurt. Jungkook's entire body shook as he stared up at Taehyung, whose deep eyes watching him like a hunter cornering prey. His chest rose and fell rapidly, sobs threatening to choke him. Give you myself? Jungkook whispered, voice cracking, disbelief and terror twisting in his features. Taehyung smirked in fear. He held the phone casually in one hand, twirling it between his fingers as if Jenny's life was entangling on the edge of it. Yes, you, for me, forever. Jungkook shook his head wildly, his tears splashing against the polished floor. No, 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 I can't. But then the phone vibrated again. Another voicemail popped up. Jenny's broken voice filled the silence. Jungkook, please don't hate me. I'm sorry. I can't live like this anymore. Goodbye. No, Jenny, no. Jungkook screamed, clutching Taehyung's leg in blind desperation. His body trembled violently, his cries raw and heart-wrenching. Jackson screamed Jenny name, cursing Taehyung, but Taehyung placed his feet on his already wounded leg, making him scream in pain. Taehyung's expression stayed calm, unreadable, though something flickered in his eyes as he watched the boy break down. I told you, Taehyung murmured. No sorry works for me. Jungkook's breath came in sharp, raged gasp. His hands curled tighter in Taehyung's suit. He couldn't lose Jackson. He couldn't let her die. Not the baby. But please, Jungkook's voice came out strangled. Please save her. I'll do it. I'll do whatever you say. Just please let me talk to her. Let me save her. Jungkook, no, you won't give yourself to this creep. Taehyung punched him hard. Jungkook screamed again. No, please. Taehyung leaned in closer, his glow intoxicating, the voice of whisper against Jungkook's ear. So you gave yourself to me. Jungkook's eyes shut tightly, his tears streaming. His head shook, but finally he forced the words out, broken and heavy. Yes. Taehyung's lips curved in satisfaction. He unlocked the phone, held it out, just inches from Jungkook's grasp, but his hand didn't let go. Forever, Jungkook, you're mine now, he said, low and absolute, as if sealing a contract with the devil. Jungkook's trembling fingers closed around the phone, his heart pounded with terror and despair, but also with something he couldn't name as Taehyung's gaze burned into him. He pressed the phone into his ear, screaming through the tears, Jenny, don't. Jackson is coming back. Please wait, just wait. The line went silent for a heartbeat. Then a shaky sob answered Jungkook, Jenny, please wait for me. Please don't hurt you and our baby, please. Jackson screamed. Relief crashed over them as they heard her voice. Jungkook's knees giving way as he collapsed fully to the ground, clutching the phone like a lifeline. He cried harder, whispering over and over, please wait, please don't do anything. He's coming back to you, I swear. Behind him, the boy Jungkook had freed watched in stunned silence, and above him, Kim Taehyung stood tall, his sharp gaze fixed on Jungkook as if he had just won a prize no other mafia could ever claim. Jungkook's voice trembled as he clutched the phone to his ear. Jenny, listen to me. He's safe. He's coming back to you. Don't hurt yourself or the baby. Please, just wait a little bit more, I promise. Her broken sobs echoed through the line, but this time there was hope in her voice. Jungkook, Jackson. Okay. Jungkook's body sagged with relief, but the moment was shattered by the sound of the loud voices echoing through the corridor. Find him. The groom is missing. He can't have gone far. The heavy footsteps of the suited man stormed down the hallway, their shadows stretching against the walls. The mafia who had orchestrated this wedding was searching for their runaway groom. Jackson clenched, eyes wide with fear. They'll kill me if they find me. Jungkook's head snapped out, his tears-filled eye looking into Taehyung's. His voice cracked, desperate, he determined. I'll go with you. Just let him go from here safely. Taehyung raised an eyebrow, amused at how the trembling boy did to negotiate with him, but there was something in Jungkook's tone, a quiet fire that dissipated the tears. No, Jungkook, don't, Jackson. Jackson said. Jungkook cut him off. We need to save Jenny and the baby. We don't have time. Go, please. The approaching footsteps grew louder. Jungkook's smirk returned. He grabbed Jungkook possessively, pulling him to the side, then turned his cold gaze to the freed boy. Leave, Taehyung commanded, his voice cutting like ice. Take the back exit. My man will make sure you reach your girlfriend unharmed. If anyone stop you, tell them the Mafia King himself dismissed you. The boy blinked in shock, unable to believe what he had just Jungkook, go. Taehyung barked, eyes narrowing. Jungkook pleaded, please go. He bolted down the hallway, disappearing into the night. Jungkook's chest heaved with relief, but before he could speak, the other mafia stormed into the corridor. Their eyes fell on Taehyung immediately. Kim Taehyung, one of the men. One of them asked, wearing his voice trembling despite his attempt to sound authoritative. Have you seen the groom? He was supposed to be in this wing. Taehyung's lips curled into a slow, dangerous smile. His arm tightened around Jungkook's wrist, pulling him flush against his side like a possession. I saw no groom, Taehyung replied smoothly, his tone silk over steel. Only a boy who belongs to me. The mafia men stepped, exchanging nervous glances. No one dared press further, not when the king himself had spoken. One wrong word and their family line could vanish overnight. They both slightly muttering excuses as they retreated down another hall. The corridor grew quiet again. Jungkook, still hold against Taehyung's side, whispered hoarsely, You lied? Taehyung looked down at him, his eyes dark but glinting with something unreadable. His fingers brushed lightly over Jungkook's tear-stained cheeks. Don't mistake this for kindness, he murmured. Voice low. I let the boy go because I have already claimed you. Otherwise, nobody lives after punching me. Jungkook's heart dropped into his stomach. His body frozen as Taehyung's words sealed his fate. Kim Taehyung walked calmly through the golden corridors, his aura so commanding that people instinctively stepped aside. But what caught everyone's curious glance wasn't just him, it was the trembling boy at his side. Jungkook's wrist was locked firmly in Taehyung's hand, his wide eyes starting nervously at the passing guest, but no one dared ask questions. Once outside, the crisp night air hit Jungkook's face. Black luxury car lined the entrance, guarded by men in suits. Taehyung's driver immediately opened the back door of a silk black Rolls-Royce. Bowing low, get in, Taehyung ordered, smoothly guiding Jungkook inside. Jungkook hesitated for a split second, but Taehyung's hand at the small of his back pushed him gently but firmly. He slid into the leather seat, his heart racing, the faint scent of the leather in Taehyung's cloak suffocating him into the confined space. The door shut, sealing him in. Taehyung slid in beside him, legs crossed elegantly, one arm resting on the backrest behind Jungkook. The car pulled away, leaving the glistening wedding behind. For a long moment, the silence rinsed the wheel, only the hum of the engine echoing. Jungkook clutched his phone tightly to his chest, his knuckles white, his thoughts still on Jenny. Jungkook was consciously staring at his phone, so Taehyung snatched his phone away, switching it off. Taehyung, satisfied with his silence, finally leaned back, his gaze fixed on the window, but his hand found Jungkook's wrist again, holding it loosely yet firmly, a reminder that he wouldn't let him go. City lights blurred past as the Rolls-Royce carried them deeper into the night, away from everything Jungkook knew, and toward Taehyung's world. To be continued. Subscribe if you like it, press the bell icon for getting immediate notifications for further videos. Thank you for reading.